People that don't like pets are sad people. Okay, alright, I know that was a hasty generalization, but honestly, how can you not like them? When someone tells me that they are not an animal person, I don't even understand what that title means, and I just stare at them with a blank face. I want to ask, so you don't like when a puppy spazzes out when it sees you, or when a cat falls asleep on your lap? Do you not like happiness or joy? Alright, I know that I was being dramatic and extreme, but it helps entertain. Just go with it. I do, though, want to present my view that every child should own a pet at some point during their childhood. Some of you may be thinking, who is this lady? And is she the type of person that dresses up her small dog in clothes or calls her cat her child? No. That's definitely not me. But I have had a good amount of interactions with pets growing up. I've had anything from dogs to cats to horses to tortoises to bunnies and even a hermit crab at one point. So to those of you who are on the fence about listening to this topic, I understand. You may not have been a pet owner in the past, and you may never want to be one in the future. But you will witness a child's, maybe your future son's or daughter's face light up when they see a dog walking on the sidewalk, or when a cat has kittens. You will interact with people who love animals just based on their cuteness, or who need them to thrive and survive, whether guide animals or emotional support. So I can help you see the light. There are many different benefits from owning pets that could affect children, but today I'm going to be focusing on two. The first is owning a pet as a child helps them to form emotional connections, feelings of love and companionship. And secondly, it helps the child to learn responsibility by taking care of a living creature. I'm sure many of us have experiences when we were little when we would be upset by something that happened at school with friends or at home with siblings or parents. And we feel like the only person that could understand us was our dog or cat or bunny or whatever. I recall running outside in my backyard to my two puppies growing up, Bailey and Bubba, because I felt like they were the only ones that could comfort me at the time. I viewed them as being the creatures that could understand really what my 9-year-old heart was feeling. And they would just let me cry. After all these years, I can recall the feeling of their fur under my arms as I was embracing them, and the sound of their tails smacking the cement when they were wagging them. Maybe those experiences only happened to me, but I learned that pets are great sources of love, consistency, and companionship. Dr. Melson, a professor at Purdue University, conducted a study where she asked, quote, a group of 5-year-old pet owners what they did when they felt sad, angry, afraid, or when they had a secret to share. More than 40% spontaneously mentioned turning to their pets, end quote. First of all, how stinking precious is that? Doesn't it make your heart just melt? And second, by their answer, you can see the relationships each young child had with their pet, how they relied on that animal for connection and affection, and sometimes that could be the only relationship they get those things from. Harvard's health publishing site backs up the realness of these tender experiences by stating, quote, we do best medically and emotionally when we feel securely attached to another, because we're mammals and that's the way we've evolved. End quote. By having a living being present all the time where you can rely on them, it helps kids to feel less alone. Children are able to have a source of consistency where they can go to when they're really happy and excited, or like I would, especially when I was sad and upset. Furthermore, not only do pets help kids grow and learn about love and consistency, but they can also be a source where compassion is learned. In an article from Babbel titled, 7 Benefits Kids Get from Owning a Pet, discusses how the people children interact with molds them into a specific kind of person. By having children care for and understand the needs of another living being, it will help them to grow their compassion bucket, where they will be able to transfer what they learn from their dog to their peers or siblings, parents, and so on and so forth. Now that was just a list of what kids can gain emotionally from owning pets. Just wait for all you parents for the next point. Like, I don't know if there's any parents in here. But all you future parents, you'll like this next point. So how many of us have experienced or witnessed a situation where a kid goes up to their parent and pleads to get a pet? Any kind. I have definitely been in that situation. And usually the parent's response is, only if you take care of it. Take it on walks, clean its cage, pick up, its poop or whatever. Most of us have been there. Well, children have the wonderful opportunity to learn what responsibility means when they own an animal. In an article titled "The Power of Pets" from News and Health expresses responsibility of owning a pet, and they put it very simply. Quote, knowing how to care for and feed an animal is part of owning a pet. End quote. Also, mic drop. That's just the real deal. In the same Babbel article that was mentioned previously, it goes on to discuss the role of responsibility. It states, having responsibility in chores with something that matters, like the comfort and life of a pet, can go a long way in teaching your child about doing hard work and pulling their weight. End quote. Children are able to pair that a living thing, though fun to interact with, has needs that need to be met for it to survive. The child is in charge of some duties, whether to walk the dog, clean the bunny cage, clean out the litter box, whatever it may be, and they can witness their hard work paying off. This can increase their confidence and their self-efficacy in being able to accomplish tasks. When my oldest nephew was 2 years old, he absolutely loved helping my dad, his grandpa, clean out the horse corrals that we had at my house. He loved scooping the poop. And it was so precious seeing this chunky little 2-year-old toddler take the rake and struggle to put it in the wheelbarrow. But afterwards, he loved it. He felt like he was contributing something, even though he was only 2 years old. But obviously, any of us that were there, any of the adults there, would do most of the work, so we didn't tell him that. Now, about 4.5 years later, when he's almost 7, my sister and brother-in-law decided to get chickens for their 3 kids to be able to teach them about responsibility and how to care for something. As you can see, from him being stoked on scooping the poop of a horse, now he's ecstatic that he gets to care for and interact with these little baby chicks that will grow into chickens and hens. Some might say he could still have those same emotions if he didn't, do those little chores when he was a toddler. But I definitely think by having those experiences, he really sees the beauty of and responsibility of taking care of an animal. And he's so excited to now because he's had those past experiences. So responsibility can only come to a person if they have experiences, like my nephew, learning this trait. So why not let the little ones fail and succeed in caring for their new best friend? In conclusion, we have all seen the heart-wrenching photos of pets consoling babies, toddlers, children, teens, all the way up to an elderly person that might be about to pass. It brings awes out of our mouths, tears to our eyes, and warmness to our hearts. There's so much good that can be brought to a child's life if they own a pet. There's a deep connection between human and beast, or learning important skills like responsibility. So next time a little kid begs to go get a bunny, cat, dog, or hamster, think about it. You may never know what will come from that relationship with that little fluff ball. Thank you.